Hey guys, welcome back to this lecture, Alertmanager Configuration file. In this lecture, we will understand the configuration file and the basic attributes which we specify, and we will also go through the Alertmanager web UI for the configuration. So let us quickly start with the lecture. In the screen, you can see I've opened my configuration file which we have passed in the last lecture, and we will start reading it and we'll understand the different attributes. So in the very first section, you see the global section where we specify the global attributes, okay, which are common for all this throughout the configuration file. So in the global, I have specified the SMTP configuration, which means the email server from where my notification will be sent, okay, which will be responsible for sending the notification. So this is the detail for that. This is my smart host. I am using the SES service from AWS to send my notification. That's where I have created the SMTP server, and I've passed the configuration according to that. Okay, now in the next section, route. So route basically specifies once an alert is triggered, at which route your notification will go. So as we discussed earlier as well, there are multiple routes we can create for a notification. We can send the notification via email, we can send the notification via Teams, or if you want to segregate the notification based upon the criticality or any other label, then you can create the different route for different needs. So that's where route comes into the picture. In the route, these are the shared or say common attributes which are shared by each and every route inside this parent route section. Okay, so the very first attribute is group by. So group by basically specifies a segregation, or we say an aggregation rule. Okay, so whenever the first alert comes to your alert manager, it creates a group for this alert, and here as I have specified the group by alert name and cluster. So these are the true attributes that are considered while creating the group. Okay, now once the group is created, alert manager waits for the group wait time, that is 30 seconds to send the notification. Okay, so before sending the notification, it will rest, or it will wait for 30 seconds, and it will see whether any new alert or any inhibition rule is bringing in any new alert into this group based upon this aggregation. So it will club all those notification into a group. Okay, and then it will send the alert as soon as 30 seconds get over. Okay, so now all the alerts that were part of that group are flushed or are sent to the route. Now it's time the group goes into the sleep state for the time that is specified into the group interval, that is, let's say 5 minutes here. So now for the next 5 minutes it will not do anything, it will go into the sleep state, and then after 5 minutes it wakes up again, it re-evaluates a group, okay, and it checks for whether it need to send a new notification if any new alert is added to the group, or it need to resend the notification in case my repeat interval has matched. Okay, so that's where this repeat interval comes into the picture. Now in the receiver we have specified, okay, but who will be the receiver of my notification. Okay, so here in the route section I just specify the name here, and now about this name we need to define the configuration in the below section. Okay, now in this receiver section here we need to specify the details for those receiver names which we have specified in route. Like in the route we have specified the email me receiver, then I need to define the email me here, and I'll say, okay, this is an email notification I want to send to this receiver, so I'll be using email configs, and in email configs I need to provide these details like, okay, this will be the to address on which email will go. This is the send resolved equals to true, means I want to send the resolve notification as well. Okay, so this was about this basic configuration file here. Now let us quickly jump onto the alert manager and see how does the configuration looks like there. Okay, so in alert manager you can directly go on to the status page here, and in the status you can see the config. Inside config you might see a few attributes which are not part of your config file in the Linux machine, okay, and which are coming as default. So let us quickly go through that as well. The very first section, global, as it is. Now we have resolve timeout equals to 5 minutes. That means resolve timeout basically specifies, now suppose a Prometheus and sends a notification to alert manager has triggered the notification and sent to the receiver. Now alert manager, or now Prometheus got crashed. Okay, now Prometheus is not sending the resolution or any further firing alert for that. So till what time alert manager will wait for that. Okay, so that's where resolve timeout comes into the picture. If the expiry is not specified in the alert which was sent by Prometheus, then by default it waits for resolve timeout, that is 5 minutes. If no update comes over that notification, alert manager sends the resolve notification for that. Okay, now the next is http config. So in our case, I mean, here we are not specifying the http scheme, so it is using the http config by default. Follow redirects are true and http2 is enabled here. Next we have smtp details. Okay, smtp requires tls equals to true. That's where if you have the https enabled at your smtp server, then you need to set it as true. Okay, these are the different integrations like page.url and others which we have not passed. These are the sample urls. Okay, now route, again receiver email me, group by, this is the same which we have created earlier, I mean which we have seen in the in our configuration file. Continue equals to false. Now continue means whenever alert comes to alert manager and the first route matches for the evaluation or first route matches for the alert, it stops the further evaluation here if it is set as false. Okay, so at the first match it will send the notification and it will exit. If we set it as true, okay, a new alert comes to alert manager, it start looking for the route. For the first route it has found the match, it sends the notification and it continues searching in the other routes as well. So if any other route also matches the same configuration or same label based on which you are created the route, so notification will go to the second route as well. Okay, now group wait, group interval, repeat interval is same as that we have discussed in our basic configuration file. In the receiver, again the name, email configs, send resolve equals to true, which we have already discussed. To address will be my address where I want to send the notification. From is the address, from address is coming from basically smtp from. Okay, now hello localhost, smart host, now these are the smtp details, auth username, password, auth identity, and these are the headers that are passed with the email. Okay, and this is the HTML template that is used for the alerting notification. By default it is using the default template. Required TLS equals to true is for the receiver. Okay, now template, as we are using the default, so it is not specifying anything here, showing anything here. You can use the custom template as well. So this was all about the alert manager configuration. In the next lecture we will generate a false positive alarm and we will see how the alerting works in alert manager. I will see you in the next lecture. Thank you.